counting you down. And
it's on the page, right?
Yes, it is. You're on.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Big Exclusive Podcast. This technically is the very first podcast. The last one was a symposium or a special I did on how to protect our women in our community. That's great. If you haven't seen that, go check out the Real Big Exclusive on YouTube and let me know what you think. Some really great information there. But tonight, the very first episode of the Big Exclusive Podcast, we're going to talk about taboo things, taboo topics. I have some really dope people on the show tonight. But first, just want to explain a few things. All right? If you see me looking down, it's only because I have so much technology here in front of me, and I want to make sure that I'm seeing my guests, beautiful guests. Thank you so much for being here, and that I'm reading some information or some questions I have for my guests. If you're listening to the audio, pay that statement absolutely no mind. Okay. With that being said, let's get into some housekeeping. I want to give a shout out to the sponsors for the Big Exclusive Podcast. We have Shred Fit Apparel. Make sure you go check him out. It's spelled exactly how it sounds, Shred Fit Apparel, on Instagram and on Facebook. You can look up Michael Felder. Classic Apparel. Exactly Classic Apparel, but use K's instead of C's. I appreciate Classic Apparel. FCB Naturals is another sponsor here on the Big Exclusive Podcast. I'll make sure I leave all the information and links below this podcast for you to check them out. If you're on the podcast website, if you look to the left of your screen, hit the 3 bars, you'll see the drop down and you'll see the links to their respective websites or social media. And last but certainly not least, Epic Graphics and Crafts. If you know me, you know I have a bunch of companies that I own. I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out my own company, Big Exclusive Spirits, Big Exclusive Wine, and iCraftMart.com. Make sure you try and do your best to support those websites. And like I said, like I always say, support doesn't always mean you have to go spend some money. If you see the post, like, share, just like I asked on the podcast, subscribe, do the best you can to get small businesses out there to the public. We cannot last, and we cannot sustain, and we cannot succeed if we don't have the help and the support of all you guys who are either listening or watching this on YouTube right now. If you're on a Facebook Live right now, you have the opportunity to ask our guests some questions. Just go to the live, or if you're watching, just type your questions in the chat, and I'll do my best to get to everybody's questions that they have for our guests. With that being said, the time has come for me to introduce my panel of guests that I have today. Now, I don't know how they appear on your screen. I know how they appear on mine. And first, I want to introduce the beautiful Miss D. Neal. You'll see her. She has on the white blouse with the jewelry. She's in the car. She's rolling, right? She is the owner of the Zen Company and is a certified healer who has been working with crystals for the last 15 years. Her company is born out of her desire to give positive energy to her friends. Featured as BuzzFeed's editor's pick, D. Neal's Zen Company has been changing the lives of her clients across the globe. Not just the nation, across the globe, serving people in America and internationally. You can find her at her website, thezencompanyonline.com. Once again, that's thezencompanyonline.com. On Facebook, The Zen Company Online. On Instagram, at The Zen Company Online. All right? So, next we have, and this is going to be a very interesting show. We have August Midnight, aka the Crow. He is a shamanic root worker and hoodoo practitioner based in Philadelphia, PA. His background focuses primarily on divination, mediumship, and conjure. He uses his magic to further the growth in his community, both locally and internationally. As a blue-collar warlock, August draws his inspiration from various traditions of folk magic and holistic medicine and provides his services to guide wellness seekers, establishing a healthier way of living, a way of thinking and living. His Instagram is August, like the month, _midnight. That's August _MIDNITE. All right, I'll have his link to his YouTube page, at the bottom of the video, so you can check him out. We have next, you can see him, he's rolling as well. He has his, what do you call it? His ornamental headgear. He is Chief Powhatan Black Raven. Let me know if I'm saying that right, or Chief PBR for short. He's an American Indian from the Appalachians who is most noted for his extensive research on black culture, born and raised in what's known as Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Chief PBR is a self-taught historian, psychologist, and spirituality, which allows him to have an against the grain mentality. All right, next we have, let's see. On my screen, she's in the top right-hand corner. She has the HNIC shirt on. Shout out to the head nerds in charge. We have in Philly, by way of San Antonio, Texas. Did I say that right? San Antonio, Texas, or San Antonio, Texas. We have the Goddess of the Eye, or on Instagram, Goddess, GAWDESS_OF_THE_ODD, Miss LJ Thornton herself. All right. And then last but certainly not least, we have Sexy Tarot. You see her with the blue shirt and the glasses. Tarot is to heal what is revealed. Sexy Tarot. She loves tarot and the mystery of the energies. She communicates the coherent with energies within their space. The energy is read intuitively with tools such as tarot card decks, oracle decks, and die, or D&D dice. Numerology and energy emitted from crystals. She says it's a very draining process when healing with the discerning and unimaginable amounts of energy. I don't know if I could handle all that energy. As you can imagine, causing her to require a lot of rest. She wants to promote self-esteem, self-awareness, and the knowing. It's okay to be exactly who you are, using the highest vibration of all, love. Miss Sexy Tarot. Let's go right into it. You know, our good friend, again, thank you guys all for being here, but we're going to jump right into it with Miss D. Neal and let her give you a little more background. I just gave you her intro, but she is the young lady who deals with healing with crystals. Can you please elaborate? And I have a few questions for you, but elaborate on what it is that you do and what brought you to crystals and healing and wanting to gift it to friends.
Make sure they unmute themselves.
Well, I think you're kind of born into what you are. I've been working with crystals, and I stopped counting at 15 years, so forgive me.
Okay.
But in my experience, what for you is always going to be in your space in some way, shape, or form, so you may decide to not pay attention to it.
Right.
But spirituality in itself, and I'll say alternative spirituality because it's outside of, you know, the Christianity, Judaism, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But as far as crystal goes, they've been around, you know, for forever, at least in my space. But when I decided to pay them attention and actually work with them was, like I said, I stopped counting about 15 years ago. But I don't work with crystals in a regular sense.
Okay.
I make organites, which they are, I don't want to get into like the whole history of organite, but basically what my devices do is they transmute energy. They pull in dead negative energy out of your atmosphere, your space. They transmute it into positive life force energy and put it back out. So I'm kind of like redefining crystal collections. Rather than sitting having a bunch of rocks sitting there, which is fine, they're okay. But if you can make them more powerful and pretty at the same time, that's what I do. I specialize in custom pieces. Most of my clients are custom because people have different energetic needs, and I can design some energy. I'm good at it. I'm great at it. And that basically, and people don't know what they need, and they come into my space, and I'm very energy sensitive, so I can feel what they need and put together a crystal mix specifically for them and make them something, and my reviews speak for themselves.
So do I have to be physically in your space for you to discern what it is that I need?
trails fast, right? And everybody's crystal sensitivity is different. Like with me, I might feel something like in a part of my body, or sounds crazy, I might see some pictures or see some words, or it just comes together like it's supposed to, and it just ends up working. You have to be a part of those conversations in order to know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like someone called me. I have a friend in Philly. She's like one of the best readers ever. But when it comes to energy, she calls me. If something comes up and someone's reading and they need a crystal, she'll call me. So she called me and she said, I got somebody on the phone. They need crystals, blah, blah, blah. And like my stomach was really tight on this person, right? So I told her, I said, well, this is what you need. You need to stop being afraid to make moves, and stop listening to everything everybody says and blah, blah, blah. Whatever it was that I told her, she was like, wow, it's crazy. People who are naturally intuitive and who can feel energy, and the Sister Sexy Tarot knows what I'm talking about. They don't need to answer a lot of questions. They don't need to know your business. They don't need to know your birthday unless they're dealing with astrology. We just feel it, and it comes in ways that we can't really explain to the naked eye, if you know what I'm saying. But with me and my crystals, I've never been off.
So let me ask you this. What's the process? Like, I log on to my computer and I go to ZenCompanyOnline.com and I want to get some crystals, but I need them specifically for me. What's the procedure in getting in touch with you to get the proper crystals? And I'm going to ask you, while we're live, what energies are you getting from me, and what crystals do you suggest that I invest in?
You want me to tell you your business?
Hey, listen, I'm an open book. You can tell it. Tell it. Tell it, please.
Well, for one, for you, I suggest malachite. Malachite is a heart chakra stone for masculine energy. It's more for men. Women can use it, but it's really like a blow. You got stuff going on here. Are you looking at me?
I got stuff going on there.
I'm about to say, I need you to pay attention.
I got you.
You got it too? You got it too? So you got stuff going on.
What's that, in my heart?
Your heart. You have things that you have like blocked and buried that you have not dealt with, and they're keeping you from moving forward. Like in not so much, well, in your life they're slowing you down, but your romantic life, it kind of blocks a lot of things because I'd say unconsciously, you're projecting and you don't know it. Even though you can be the sweetest person in the world, there's things that you struggle with that keep you from moving forward, and those are the things that you have buried and you have not dealt with, and a lot of them you have forgotten about.
Okay, so.
And your first love really did it.
Okay, so. Exactly. I'm gonna be honest on air. That is probably 100% dead on. And I'm not going to say I'm spooked out or anything like that. I'm going to just say that is dead on. And, D, when was the last time we talked? 15? I don't know. 15 years ago? When did you move? When did you move?
I moved back to Atlanta in 2012.
And it was before that because we had that meeting at a friend's house.
And I know nothing about your life. I don't know you like at all.
At all. And that was probably like airily dead on. But with that being said, right? So now that I know, what is my next step when it comes to the crystals?
So normally this happens, people inbox me and I tell them, well, go to my website and send me a message. However they need to do it. Some people need to call me and schedule time with me because that's their preferred mode. They like face-to-face and very flexible. But most times people can just shoot me a message on the ZenCompanyOnline.com and they would tell me what they want. Or a lot of times I'll say, okay, what are your desires? Because I don't like to, what I do, that's some spooky shit. So I kind of let people give me an anchor so I can spooky shit won't seem so spooky to them. You feel me?
Yeah, and we're gonna have to talk after the show.
So you need you need a mix. Malachite definitely. So shoot me an inbox or a message on my website and we'll get it together.
Okay, I appreciate that. Did any other panelists have any questions for D?
I definitely would need some crystals.
I second that emotion.
And I don't have them with me, but like here, like I made this necklace I have on. This here is a pendulum that I made for myself. If you can see.
Yeah, it's dope.
And I hand knotted these beads. This is crystal cola on these. These are crystal cola, but in here is they're not crystal cola, they're crystal praise. So I got crystal praise, I got morganite, which is self-love, a little bit of lodestone, which is a tracks thing. I got a few things here, but I mix energies. I don't follow the traditional rules of how to work with crystals. Well, if you put this crystal with that crystal, then it's going to get thrown off not knowing to do bullshit. Like, I break the rules because energy knows what when it gets into an atmosphere, energy knows what it's supposed to do, right? It knows what is needed. And so you can direct it and say, hey, I want you to do this, because they listen. They do what you tell them to do. But one thing you won't find me doing a whole lot of is wrapping, is copper wrapping, because copper is a conductor and it directs the flow of the energy. So you're basically, a crystal knows, because once it gets into an atmosphere, you're literally, your DNA is a crystalline structure. So crystals talk to each other. So when it gets in your space, your body is communicating with you, so it knows what it needs. If you wrap it up in a copper, it has to go around that shit to get to where it needs to be, instead of doing like a straight shot. It know what it's to do. Just let it do its thing. If I have like an amethyst that helps with the third eye and with dreams and the dream state and helps you sleep better, and I have it independent with a red jasper, which is more, it's going to amp you up because of the vitality increaser. A traditional crystal person might say, no, don't do that because it's not going to know what to do. To me, that's balance.
So
I have a question.
Go ahead, Pop.
If I may. So my pendant that I've been wearing for about maybe past 3 or 4 years is labradorite, moonstone, and amethyst wrapped in copper. What would be your prognosis of that?
It's not really a prognosis. If it's been working for you, then it's fine, because it's energy. You can't go wrong with it. It's labradorite is a special one that I don't work with a lot. It's one of the protectors to me. You said you have amethyst.
Yes, there's a bit of amethyst.
Amethyst is one that I love for babies, but amethyst is my birthstone because I'm a Pisces, 26.
Nice.
And you said, what else do you have in there?
Moonstone.
A moonstone. Moonstone is my prissy womb stone, right? That's a sacral chakra stone. It's a feminine energy. It's one that's good to mix with sunstone, which is a great balance of the yin and yang, right?
I've heard that.
So with moonstone, you're working in your sacral chakra area and with your reproductive system and your sexuality and things of that sort. And with amethyst, you're working with your third eye and your crown chakra, keeping your head together, keeping your intuition on. I don't know if you're an astral traveler, but the amethyst can help with that.
Definitely.
As far as the copper wrapping, that's people's choice. It's just not my choice. I've done it, but I don't do it often.
Okay.
I'm a fish, so you can't. With fish, they do what they do. So to me,
I get along with a lot of
flow
freely. So.
Say that again?
Says you got to be able to flow freely through the water.
Yeah, so I let energy do it. I don't like to do that to it.
So now, do you have people who work with crystals in the traditional sense try and belittle what it is that you do? Or do they understand that energy is free flowing and interpreted and used where it's needed to be used?
I don't know what they understand because I don't get it. When I tell you that I'm I get high on my own supply. I don't have no bullshit coming to me, to my door, in my life. I don't have none of that shit. Now, life is a balance. I'm not going to say I am not without challenge, but that's in life, period. But those things, I just don't have it, so I don't know what they think. I don't know what they think because I don't care. It's their business, right? And so what is it? As a man think if he is. Thoughts are energy. They travel faster than the speed of light, right? Scientists have proven that.
Right.
So if I'm focusing and thinking about what other crystal workers do, then that's going to bring them to me. I didn't even think about them. I don't discredit them, right?
Right.
Because there's a lane for everybody, and everybody has a different energetic need. My people who come to me, they have my energetic need. My money bags fly off the hook. People getting paid, right? They might need something more special. I had somebody drop off their whole damn brother to me in a damn cremation box before, and I told her all I needed was a teaspoon. She gave me the whole damn box at the gas station. He's been dead since 2011. They ain't never been open.
Wow.
These are the things that happen to me, right? Everybody's experience is unique. As you can see, on my ancestral altar, I got somebody's brother, somebody's mama, somebody's grandmama, and they're sharing the altar with my ancestors. My ancestors don't care because my family is a welcoming family. As soon as they see you, how you doing? You family, make yourself at home. I'm not fixing your place, fix your own place. So that's how they are. So to answer your question, no, I don't have it.
Okay, that's great. So now, the last question I want to ask you before, you're not going anywhere, right? Do you have to go?
No, I don't have to go.
Okay, it's okay if you do. But the last question I wanted to ask you was, do you have those people that are skeptical that come to you and leave not skeptical anymore? And then what is the biggest issue that you face with getting people to understand about your gift and what it is that you do?
One, I've had people who have, when they finally come, they're like, I've been watching for a while, and, it's my first experience. I've always been taught that. And I'm like, well, it's fine. It's normal to have that because, we're programmed to I'd say traditional religious thought that this is not what you do, it's demon, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but it's in the Bible. We're not even going to get to that. We're not going to get into it.
But wait, I think we kind of, and we don't have to get too deep in it, but I think we should, because when I made the post about, the topics that I was talking about tonight, I had a family member, you know what I mean? And that person just basically said, like, you know what, cuz, good luck with the show, but I can't tune into that.
Did you tell? Guess what? The Bible is one big spell book. We won't get into that. But when we talk about crystals, if people want to say crystals are devilish, well, tell me why God put 12 of them on the high priest Aaron's breastplate. And that's the answer all the time. It's silent.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Stick around.
And that's only one place. I'm not going to show people around their Bible that they try to use against me, right? Noah, crystals in the ark. Man,
Okay.
Listen. We're not going to do that. So, I say it this way. I believe in God.
Okay.
And God is balance. God is duality. Everything is made in twos. He directed Noah to take two of everything in the ark. Nothing exists without its opposite, right?
Absolutely.
God in itself is dual. God is negative and positive because if you really read the Bible, God's with the shit. God's a motherfucker, right? Even his son, Jesus said, I ain't come here for no peace. I came to fuck shit up. That's what Jesus said. Go to Matthew, right?
Right.
We talk about crystals. They are from the earth. They grow in the earth. for a reason. They're comprised of all the elements. So to me, to deny anything of God's creation is blasphemy, to not acknowledge it. You ignoring God, you telling God, hey, you made something that's fucked up. That's between you and your maker. I'm not going to do it. Not what I do. As far as my biggest issues with that, I don't have them. Like I said, I don't have no fuck shit coming over here in regards to that. For some reason, people don't fuck with me like that. They might whisper some shit, but as far as coming over here, they don't do it, and I'm not thinking about it. They can stay over there. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but when I'm somebody's cup of tea, I'm somebody's cup of tea. You feel me?
Absolutely. Let's pivot for a second. This is a topic that I've been seeing lately, and I'm very intrigued by it because there was this image floating around on Facebook of the young lady who had 2 husbands. And it went viral, but it definitely went viral. And there was a lot of people had very visceral reactions to this image, men and women alike. And for me, I didn't want to be looked at as, judging anybody because I'm not in a position to do that. But what I am in a position to do is learn. So what I wanted to do, especially with this platform, is give somebody who lives the poly lifestyle an opportunity to come on and educate not only me, but everybody who's going to see or listen to this podcast. So with that being said, I want to bring in, again, Philly by way of San Antonio, Texas, the goddess of the odd, Miss LJ Thornton herself. I want you to come in. I have a few questions, but again, just give people a little more of your background before I get into the questions that I have.
I am.
She started.
I'm 30 years old, and I have been married and divorced. I was 7 months pregnant at my wedding, and I was raised Southern Baptist, to give y'all a little bit of context and background on how I ended up where I'm at. So obviously, that's like complete opposite of what I was raised in. However, like when it comes to polyamory, it is a lifestyle to some, to others, it's just an orientation. Like me, I've been oriented in this way since I can remember. I've always had the capacity to meet people and connect to them and be attracted to them for who they are as people. As I get older, the things I'm taught, the things I'm told, and the things that I'm exposed to, monogamy is the only option. So that's pretty much how I came up as far as my background. And it wasn't until I was in my mid-20s that I realized monogamy is not the only option. Polygamy isn't the only other option that's out there. So there's a lot of knowledge out there if you do like the research, and that helped a lot.
So just to clarify, and I appreciate the background, you do practice the poly lifestyle.
I mean, yeah, it's my orientation. It's who I am. It's not like, it doesn't go in phases. It's not like, oh, I'm poly until I meet a person who I like, and then I'm not gonna be poly anymore. Like I'm a polyamorous woman. I connect with people. I don't have any expectations of a romantic relationship. However, if that's how things end up as our relationship or connection progresses, then that's an available option.
So let me ask you this. The very first question I had is, because I know when I saw the image, as a man, I had my own very topical and visceral response on what I was feeling and what I was thinking. Like, as another man, I'm thinking, well, are these guys bisexual? Are there other things I don't know about these guys? Are they all sleeping together? Do they mind? And the complete ignorance, because again, for me, ignorance isn't bliss. I want to learn, I want to know, I want to understand, and I want to be able to appreciate everybody's lifestyle. So with that being said, my very topical and visceral response was, do the men have to be bisexual? What I want you to do right now is dispel some of the misconceptions there is about polyamory.
Okay. I'll address yours first, though.
Yes.
No, a man does not have to be any specific type of sexual orientation. Polyamory, when it comes to being in multiple relationships ethically, ethics is like the only rule. That's the only thing that has to be at the center of everything. Radical honesty. Everyone knows what's going on. There's no lying. There's no cheating. There's no hiding. That's not polyamory. That's cheating and lying and polyfuckery. That's what we call that.
Polyfuckery. I love it.
Polyfuckery. Exactly.
I love it.
Polyamory, though, is when, like, when it comes to orientation, if you have a certain orientation, you meet a person who you happen to connect with, it's not about the sex when it comes to polyamory. Poly is multiple, amory is love. Multiple love connections, not multiple sexual relationships. That's what open relationships and swingers are for. It's not sex-based. So that is one of the notions in answering like your question. So that's why your orientation doesn't matter. You can be pansexual, you can be bisexual, you can be completely heterosexual and be a polyamorous person. It's your orientation as far as if you are capable of not possessing a person who you say you love. That's at the root of it as well.
I think that's huge, and I'm going to come back to that. Thank you for dispelling some of the misconceptions about what polyamory is. But the other question I wanted to ask is, how do you benefit from having that or being in that kind of lifestyle? Because although I had that extremely visceral response of, are they bisexual, are they gay, or could I handle another man, or watching another guy have intercourse with somebody I'm in a relationship with, the flip side to that coin, because I like to think that I try and look at things from 180 or 360 point of view. I like to look at everything, from other people's perspective, and I looked at what the benefits would be of having that or being in that lifestyle. And if you could tell me some of the benefits before I get into, ones that I thought would be beneficial, that would greatly help me understand why some people, choose to live that lifestyle.
Well, I can be real with you and say that's a loaded fucking question. And I'll explain why. Only because, there's no one way of doing polyamory. It's like I said, the only rule is ethics. That's it. The rest of it is literally doing the work within your own self and wondering, hey, is this really something I'm open to? It should never be because, me and my husband are going through some shit. This is gonna fix it. This is no. So those types of things, and when it comes to the benefits, it's catered to every single person and what works for them. So if you aren't comfortable watching your woman have sex with anyone else, male or female, don't do that. That doesn't mean that you're not polyamorous. It just means that you're not comfortable with it. So that's why it's a little crazy question, because what any of the happy parts and benefits should start within your own self as far as, is this what I want in the first place? And then beyond that, it's a matter of being honest with you and the people who you're involved with and what you're comfortable with and what you're not. That's how people are happy in polyamorous relationships, because they communicate, hey, I'm not comfortable with, with this. If this is because of, how you carry yourself, then I need to work on that. But I want to let you know this is how I feel. There's no one way to doing anything having to do with polyamory.
Okay, so, you made a statement that you have to have radical honesty. And I think that's part of the issue why a lot of people, because I actually joined a group, in my research, where there's this completely different language that I have no clue what it means, and I'm constantly learning something every day. And what I realized, and after reading some of the information, is that polyamory has zero to do with sex. And that kind of blew my mind because, again, that was part of my visceral response that, they just want to have orgy, or men just want to sleep with multiple women. And none of that was the basis.
It's just orgies.
From what I read, none of that was the basis of what polyamory is. And it was people, and it were couples looking for that third or a triad, and you have closed triads and please.
Those are only a couple of formats as well. That's not the only way.
So yes, let's get into some of the foreign formats and what they mean, so that if people see these terms on social media or out with friends or in public somewhere, they can understand what these terms mean.
Well, the most common is what you said, a throuple or a triad, which is 3 people. If it's a closed like triad, that means no one in that group, they aren't involved with anyone else outside of themselves. Okay. A lot of people have their reasons for doing that. When it comes to a couple who are looking for that one special third, when that's done in an unhealthy and dishonest way, that's called unicorn hunting, and not exactly a healthy thing, because at that point, whoever like the third is only looked at as a sex toy, not as a person who actually wants to get involved with the people. So at that point, you get into swingers or polyamory. Are you really sure that you're polyamorous if you want this person to get to know you and get close to you, but you only use them for sex? How is that going to help them? It's only helping y'all. So that is another common misconception as well as another format. There is something called kitchen table polyamory. So
kitchen table,
which means literally what it says, everybody's at the table. If I'm involved with my nesting partner who I live with, and one of his partners and I happen to have a connection, we'll have our own relationship. It ain't got shit to do with him. If he wants to get involved in that and it goes there, then it goes there. But there's no set it has to be a man, a woman, and that's it, or it has to be this specific type of format. So that's called egalitarian poly. Like solo polyamory is another thing that you'll hear a lot. A lot of misconceptions about it as well, but long story short is when you are your primary partner and you have other relationships with everyone else who you're involved with, no one is more important than the other. Everyone has their own connections, whether it's a romantic, a physical, what have you. So again, it's a very broad spectrum. There is literally something for everyone, as long as everyone's honest with each other and everyone's needs are being met at the end of the day are the questions that should be answered.
All right, one more, and then we're going to kind of go to our next expert. And this is the one that people usually base their argument on against polyamory and relationships that aren't monogamous is, can you love more than one person at one time? I'll let you answer before I give an opinion.
Short answer, absolutely. Love is not a mystic concept that we don't have any control of. Love is a choice. You choose to love whoever you love. So every single person is different. And when you don't look to possess them, you look at the person who they are. And if that person vibes with your person and the person who you are, then that's love in and of itself, that a person can be 1,000% themselves around you and in your space. So you can have that with multiple people. I have friends that I love, and I have romantic loves that I love. Love with multiple people is possible. It's when you when you do away with what has to be, if it has to be a relationship, it has to be a romantic relationship, it has to end up in marriage. When you take that all away and you just let shit happen, you'd be amazed at who you connect with for different reasons instead of trying to seek out one thing in this vast array and variety of people. So yes, is the short answer. You can absolutely love multiple people. It's not the same love, but you can love multiple people.
And that's kind of where my answer was geared towards. for me personally, and then on my journey, and Miss D. Neal kind of stripped me down a little bit, made me feel a little vulnerable tonight on the show, because I have some stuff I need to deal with, and I'm honest with that. And I'll say this, I'll be honest too, therapy is a part of that journey. There's some stuff I have to deal with, some stuff I have to unpack. But what I did realize in my own journey is that love is not this thing that you can possess and put it in your pocket or lock it away in the house or lock it in a safe or a vault. That's not something you can do with love, because I just feel like love in that sense is infinite. Like, you cannot claim to be a person who's based in love and not see it possible to love more than one person. And the misconception is, and you nailed it, like, love takes many different forms. It's people that I connect with that I love, that we have no sexual relationship whatsoever, never have, probably never will. But when you look at it from a physical standpoint, I still believe you can also love more than one person physically, because love is so intense. It's hard for me to imagine that two people, and there are examples, small examples, but I've never, in my life, on my whole time on this earth, I've never met two people who have been completely monogamous to each other from day one till that other person died, and that was it. I've never seen that example unless it was television or I read it somewhere online, and even then I have a hard time believing it. So for me, it's extremely important that it's okay to want a monogamous relationship, but just understand that that man or that woman isn't something to be possessed or something to be owned. So that's just my little two nickels I rubbed together. But I'm gonna take a couple comments from the live, and then we're gonna move on. I want to bring in next. Who wants to go next before I read these comments? Don't everybody jump all at once.
I'll go next.
Okay. Okay, August, Mr. Midnight, we're going to come to you next. But first, I want to read a couple comments off the Facebook Live. Big shout out to my girl, Stephanie Capehart. She said, yes, you can love more than one person, and I agree. It's not the same love, but yes, you can love. Miss Clark, Tosh Clark said, yes, you can love multiple people at one time. I'm living that now. I don't think in this lifetime I'll only share my love with just one human. Miss Nat Phillips says, you're right, Stephanie, it's a different love. I couldn't have said it any better. So it's good that we are all understanding and elevating our mind to, finally start. Because marriage, I said it in the symposium, I think marriage is a very antiquated idea, and I think we need to start moving past that idea that we need this piece of paper to say we're lawfully wedded, because we have lawyers, especially in the most litigious country on the planet. We have lawyers who can draw up paperwork to make sure that you have what you need after that person has passed on. We have insurance companies where you can decide who gets what when you're gone. I don't think we need marriage in the sense that it has to be one man, one woman, 2.5 kids, the white picket fence. I think all those ideas are very old, and I think we need to reimagine what relationships are. And I think we'll have less violence, less women out there being hurt, less men out there being hurt as well. I think if we redefine, what meaningful relationships are and start to explore those relationships, I think everybody will be just a little bit happier. And I believe that's the goal while we're here, is to find what makes you happy and live in that space. Because love is a wonderful thing. Understand that it's to be nurtured and not forced and not possessed. With that being said, I want to go to the Crow, Mr. August Midnight. Tell us a little bit about yourself, sir. The blue collar warlock.
Yeah, blue collar warlock. Basically, I'm like a jack of all trades, but jack of all trades, master of none. I've been highly intuitive since, I don't know, as long as I can remember. I recall a moment in high school where I was in biology class and I just like turned to this girl behind me because I just kept feeling this like tap on my shoulder. And I was just like, do you did your grandmother give you her bed sheets or something? And she was just like, what, how the hell you know something like that?
Yeah,
Like,
that
I
would have
don't
freaked me
know
out
who
too.
this, I don't know who, I don't even remember this girl's name or nothing. Like, we were just classmates. She wasn't even a friend or anything. And I was just like, be careful with them. I don't know what that, I don't know what it's about. And I just like went back to my schoolwork. So then like the next week, she just like came to me and she just like, how about I accidentally spilled fingernail polish on my grandmother's, on my bed sheets? I was like, oh, okay, okay. And I was like, is your grandmother deceased? She was like, yes. I was like, huh. And I just thought it was odd. I didn't believe in any of this at all. I was like one of the biggest skeptics you could ever meet until 2013. And I'm not even going to go into that because that was just that was like the best and worst year of my life. And then I don't know. I just started like somebody turned me on to like crystals, so I started carrying crystals, and then I just started looking at candles, and I started looking at herbs, and then I was looking at a lot of European magic and African spirituality and Japanese culture and magic, and I just started like understanding that like this is all the same thing, just through different lenses. It's the same thing, and I look at things like even like method acting. That's channeling. That's channeling a archetype, an entity, a spirit. I just started seeing codes and things and pop culture and media, and things would just come to me in dreams, whether they're for family. Like I saw my cousin and his wife moving before they told the rest of the family, and they was like, damn, he knows about the damn house, okay, but what's this job transfer that he's talking about? And then the next week came, and then my cousin saw the email. He was just like, what the fuck? And his wife came down the steps like, babe, what's wrong? In her bathrobe, and he's just like, if you're reading this email, such and such company bought out us. And it was like, so I'm transferring.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Some things I want to clear up right out the gate, because right before we were live tonight, I did a behind the scenes live on Instagram. And if you're not following me, you can follow me on everything at Big Exclusive, spelled exactly how it sounds, at Big Exclusive. So with that being said, so I'm doing it behind the scenes, right? And I made the statement that a warlock is just a male person who practices witchcraft. Ooh, what a mistake. What a mistake. Can you
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, can you shed some light on why the statement I just made is wrong?
Warlock means oath breaker in some communities. It's kind of a derogatory term. However, it is applied to differentiate between male and female practitioners. And I don't know, you just kind of have the people who get that and try to like take its power back, and then you have the other ones who are just completely against it. And it's a lot of them, people when people are opposed to something, they're a little bit louder than the people who are for something, unfortunately, in some cases. But yeah, like that's just the gist of it, man. That's pretty much the gist of it, if that explains anything.
Let me ask you, because I need you to dispel another myth. And Chief, I think I'm gonna need to bring you in on this conversation as well. But the other thing I want you to do is dispel some of the myths about witchcraft. And the other thing, right quick, is I said voodoo one day on a post. Another mistake. Okay?
Yeah.
And when you sent over your information, and that person corrected me and said hoodoo, can you explain to me first the difference between voodoo and hoodoo, and then dispel some of the myths about witchcraft and warlocks?
Okay. So to put it simply, for anybody that is unaware, the difference between voodoo and hoodoo, is simply that voodoo derives from a culture religion, and hoodoo is just is considered in some places a folk magic practice. And to give a little definition on each of those, a religion is a religion, and then that became its own different denominations.
Okay.
And then with hoodoo, is just a practice that Black people and slaves that they practice to sustain their life, keep themselves safe and protected and whatnot. And it became adopted by other cultures and ethnicities, but its origin did come from the slaves that came over here, and not by choice. So that's the long and short of it, not to go too deep into it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I got a question from the live. Special shout out to Dawn. She said, what made the guy become a warlock? Does he practice white magic or black magic? And explain the difference in the two.
That's interesting, because I just watched something that was talking about that again. Black and white magic really only depends on the user and what mood they're in, for real, how I look at it. Because when you're practicing, it's not all about intention, but it depends on what are you doing this for? Is this a selfish act, or is this a selfless act? And over time, people just started putting black and white and good and evil, and these are just all labels. But you could curse somebody and other people would be like, oh, why did you do that? But if you say, well, he was raping his daughter, then it's like, oh, well, that's good, or oh, that's bad because. So it's like right now, so you're splitting hairs. So what makes it white or what makes it black? You feel me? But what made me become a practitioner, I use just generally. I don't know. It's just something that I when I started it, it started for self progression and out of self love, but there's this like underlying need that I have to I don't know, just like influence other people's lives in a positive way that helps them grow or change. And depending on what they, what energy they fed me, I fed it right back to them. So with
that being said, let me ask you this really quickly, because I again, it's people currently in my inbox now, and they're kind of curious as to why I would even put a show like this together, and it's driving me crazy, because again, I don't like that people are so closed-minded that they won't even educate themselves, and this is the purpose. And again, I've learned some stuff about myself already. But what do you say to those people that say, yo, that's the devil's work, that's Satanism, that's evil? How do you respond to those kind of people?
I don't actually meet those kind of people. My aura allowed me to just meet anybody who I need to meet. When I walk out the door, I'm not sharing my business about anything with anybody. So, when I see you, I feed you the same energy you feed me. There's nothing obvious about me that I believe that would make someone even start saying anything like that to me. And if you leave comments or something like that on my page, then you have to have been looking for somebody like me in order to start saying that. So what does that say about you? Because I don't give a damn. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that.
All right,
Can I respond to that?
Please, yes, Chief.
Okay.
Please respond.
First of all, how's everyone doing? If you notice, August, he called himself a practitioner, and this has come from me researching and trying to get to the bottom of everything. And Magick, what's led me to Magick was religion and medicine. They both lead back to Magick. So everybody that identifies as black, they, at some point in time in their life, they've had some curiosity in magic. Okay, but where we get it confused is a lot of people think illusionists are magicians, and it's not the same. So what you see on TV is illusionists. We speak magic every day. We just no longer as a culture know what it is. Magic, the true definition of magic is to change and redirect energy. And you do that with the words that you speak off your tongue every day. Okay, so also if you look into the medical field, you notice they have the pole with the two serpents or the snakes or whatever you want to call it. That was actually the witch doctor before we was colonized. That was who you went to for your herbal medicines and your white magic for as far as what you guys are calling it today. To touch on what August said as far as black and white magic, I agree. It's all on your intentions. White is when you're speaking positive based on the definition. Black is when you're speaking negative based on the definition. But magic is to change and redirect energy, is nothing more, nothing less. So abracadabra, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, they both have the same meaning. I create what I speak.
Okay.
And it's as simple as that. And you feel free to research anything.
So, Chief, I can't hear you.
I said,
I agree.
Go ahead. I can hear you.
No, I just said, feel free to research anything I just said.
So let me ask you this. And August, I didn't mean to cut into your time, but I kind of brought you guys here knowing what would happen. While I have your attention, Chief, can you explain some of the history of our spirituality as black people? Because I saw a question, and I talked to August when I was talking about booking him for the show, and this young lady posted a question on Facebook, and it kind of shook me to my foundation because I didn't have an answer. And I was like, again, not wanting to be ignorant and, thinking that I want to be able to relate to everybody on some level. But her question was, hey, black people, what did we practice spiritually and religiously before they took us from our land and brought us here on the boat? And I had no answer, no clue. So if August and Chief can kind of tackle that question together, I greatly appreciate it.
You want to start off, Bob?
Well, I know it's not there.
Let's
Now don't get shy on me now.
I'll take the lead. We practice being good people.
Hey,
that's the shortest answer. That's the shortest answer. Another thing, and this may blow a lot of people's minds, is a lot of us didn't come here on no boat.
Nope.
Uh-oh. Speak on it.
Nope.
A lot of us didn't come here on no boat. If you trace back your own paperwork, well, you know what? I'm gonna speak for myself because I don't know everyone else. But I trace my paperwork all the way back to 1690.
Okay.
Okay. And the only ones that came here on a boat was my Irish and Scottish blood. Mm-hmm. Everyone else was already here. Okay. I'm from the Powhatan, the Cherokee, Aniawayan, and Saponi Indian tribes. Okay, I wear this chief headdress because I consider myself the chief of Lost Indians, which most Lost Indians call themselves Black, African American, or Negro. Okay, my tribe, which I named the Appalachian Aniawayan tribe. Appalachian, if you don't know, we live between those mountains to this day. If you live in Philadelphia, I think New York, all the way down into Maryland, the Delaware Valley, we're in between the Appalachian Mountains. Aniawayan is what the Cherokee was called before they signed the peace treaty with the United States of America. So that's the original name of the Cherokee Indians. And the Cherokee Indians that we know today is actually a mixture of multiple tribes who decided, you know what, we quit. We're going to sign this peace treaty. And that's why the Cherokee are the most noted tribe, because they were the first ones to give up.
Oh, wow. The most known because they were the first ones to give up. Okay.
There's only one tribe to this day who hasn't signed a peace treaty with the United States of America, and that's the Seminole tribe. They fought all the way to the bottom part of Florida, and the United States of America deemed that land unworthy, that swamp land down there, so they left them alone. So to this day, the Seminoles are the only Native American tribe to not sign a peace treaty or not be murdered by what's known as United States of America.
Okay. August, can you speak to the question, what did we practice before we were brought to this land, or before the book, the Bible, as we know it today, or any other, religious book, the Quran, and any other religious book? What did we practice, and what are some of the rituals that we practiced before we were colonized and or brought to America?
Mercury retrograde, you have to forgive me if I sound a little slow. So if you just research cultures in Africa, cultures in the Caribbean, and cultures in South America, you can start, to look for, you can start piecing together certain religious rites. And you can even look at certain architecture, because I'm an artist, so I have an eye for certain lines. But if you even notice certain architecture, it's man, all of these cultures look like they're way older than these castles that we see in Europe. So I don't know. Maybe somebody could back me up with with certain.
I can answer.
Even if you look up, let's say, what's probably buzzing on everybody's head, voodoo. You look up voodoo, you can trace it back to Benin, and in other regions. Look up the Congo regions. These are really, really, really old practices that still go on to this day, that has been adopted and adapted based on the intermixing of cultures, over thousands of years. So, you just definitely have to just do your research. But yeah, what were you gonna say, D?
Yeah, D, help us out here. Add to what we have going on.
Just to put it simply, voodoo, that is a religion, Haitian religion. You have, and when we say slavery, we always think about Africa. They practice Islam, and we cannot forget about Ifa. African, the religion of our ancestors. You cannot lead this conversation and asking what we were before they gave us Christianity without acknowledging the Yoruba religion. You can't do it. There's a lot, and it still goes on. African traditional religion is a thing. It is alive, and it's something that I recommend people look into. I was introduced to that about 20 years ago, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm coming from Christianity. even though I had left it alone. I was already on my own spiritual quest. I'm like, yo, why you got this shit sitting down in front of your door when I walk in, right? Why are you telling me about sacrificing animals? And in living through it, and I won't speak too deeply into it because it is not. I know people who this is their everyday that they live and breathe. And if you want to delve deeper into it, I can introduce you to them and you can have them on, because I think everyone should be. I think that everyone should be introduced to African traditional religion, right? So when we start talking about the Orishas and everybody, I'll send you to someone more experienced with that, because this is what they grew up in and this is what their life is. But that's where we were before they shoved the Bible down our face.
Okay, I have a follow-up question, but first, Goddess, Miss Thornton, I know you have to get out of here, but before you go, so that people can hear it on audio from you, give the people your social media information or any other page you want people to, who may have some follow-up questions to reach out and get the information. Like, just give it to them before you sign off, please.
Twitter, Instagram, Messenger, all are Goddess of the Odd, GAWD as in Delta ESS _ of _ the _ odd ODD. I'm not the most sociable of habits, but if y'all want to say hi, I will say hi. So if y'all want to hit me up, or if y'all want to talk, let's go ask any questions. As long as y'all keep it respectable, you don't have to agree with me. But if y'all got questions, y'all can go ahead and hit me up. I'm on Messenger under Lovely Thornton. You see me right there. But I appreciate you, Sir Reynolds, for having me on. It was an interesting experience for sure. Everyone else, I'll be listening, especially you, Miss Sexy Tarot. I'm looking forward to your segment, darling. I've been having my eye on you for a minute, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hitting you up. I definitely had a burning question I would like to get your opinion on.
Absolutely, I am here.
Thank you
so much. I
Appreciate
you coming on.
Have a good evening, and thank you so much.
All right. Right back at you, sister.
I did have and I gotta say thank you to Goddess of the Eye, Miss LJ Thornton in Philly by way of San Antonio, Texas. I gotta tell her I appreciate her coming through and blessing us with the information. And from the messages that I'm getting in the background and the response that's coming through on the various social media platforms, we're gonna have to take a deeper dive into pretty much everything, and we haven't even got to the tarot part yet. But the last question I wanted to ask, D, Chief, and August, and of course, Sexy Tarot, if you have an answer to this, please share your response. But the question that I wanted to ask, as far as just to follow up on what did we practice, as far as religion goes today, as African Americans, where do you feel like our place is in religion, and where should we be headed with religion? Because for me, and I'll tell you why I asked this question. For me, I feel like a lot of the times, a lot of religious stuff has to do with control. And I want to say a lot of wars and a lot of people have died for the sake of religion. Like, I'm right, no, I'm right. I control this land for religious reasons. No, I control this land for religious reasons. And we're going to go to war to the death, and everybody's dead, and no one's still, the generations are fighting on for a specific land. We have people out here who do things, horrible things, in the name of religion, but from every religious text that I came encounter with, it all said that the God is a forgiving, a loving, and a merciful God. And everybody wants to be made in his image, but nobody acts in that image. So my question to you is, do we have a place in religion where we need to focus on, or is there another religious or spiritual place out there for us to focus on where we should be headed?
I think that when we talk about religion and you talk about spirituality, you're talking about two different things, right?
Yes.
Religion is more of man and man's desires, and like you say, control. Control is spirituality is when you deal directly with spirit, right? But as far as where we're supposed to be, wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. Anything that happens is supposed to be happening for that particular time. And when you've dealt in your spirit and in spirituality long enough, you understand that no matter whether we perceive it as negative or positive, there's a reason for it that is way bigger than we can understand. I always say life is a domino effect. Oh shit, I'm late for work. The fuck. And then when you get on the expressway, you done missed a 5-car accident, right? So everything. And I always say, God, whatever the concept we make God to see, God will put some fuck shit in your life just to set you up for some good things. As far as what path you're supposed to be, you follow it. What is most prevalent? What keeps showing up, right? Some people may have only one path their whole life as far as religion or spirituality. Some people may have a few. I've had a few, right? The path that I'm where I am now is unlike any shit I've ever been through in my life. I could not have been here when I was 18 or when I was 10. Even though we questioned, oh my God, why didn't you show me this? Then you were not ready for it. So I don't think that there's one solid answer as to where we should be, because not everyone should be in the same place, because not everyone came here for the same reason. Everybody's soul contract is different. Everybody has a different path, so I can't look at you and say, oh my God, you're a Christian. Your soul need that or your spirit need that for whatever reason. That's between you and your maker. That's your experience for a certain reason. Your manifestation in this lifetime could be so you won't judge shit like that, or so that it can prepare you for another part. Who knows? Because I think that Christianity is a pretty good foundation. It's an introduction, right? And once you move, if your path leads you that way, there's so much that you can go back and say, wow, I saw that, and I saw that, and I saw that, and oh, this Bible is not really full of shit. Like, this Bible is with the shit. It just seemed full of shit from my naked eye from the way they taught it to me. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
May I follow up on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. All I wanted to say, small statement, was that, people are just taking the wrong information and applying it incorrectly. I feel like that's just the gist of it. They just take the wrong information, the wrong parts, and they're just not really applying it the way that it should be applied.
Give us an example.
Well, I mean, like whether Christianity or this religion or that religion is for you or not, if you're trying to apply certain things that may or may not fit the construct of your lifestyle, of your home, or of your family, then you're going to always find yourself clashing with your environment. So it doesn't matter if it's the religion itself or there's certain things in the religion. If you are looking at the wrong things, you're reading it's pretty much like reading the wrong things on purpose. It's like, oh, Sally went to the store and found the dog. Oh, she went to the store, so she lost money. It's like you're looking at it wrong. You're taking the wrong information out of it. You're overthinking it. You're thinking too deep into it and just applying it incorrectly to your life. So however your life is structured.
Okay, Chief.
That's just how I view it.
First and foremost, I think Black people, African American, we need to understand what religion is. You know what I mean? Religion is something that you practice religiously. It's not necessarily being a Christian, a Baptist, Islam, or anything. Like, first and foremost, let me let you guys know I was raised in a Christian household. I'm talking about a household where only one day was spent not going to church. You get what I'm saying? Like Bible study, Sunday school, vacation Bible school. So I'm not just speaking out the side of my neck. But religion is something that you practice religiously. The religion that we look at today, I feel like we as a people have no place there because there's a lot of contradictions within the books. unless you read it yourself. Religion that we know today is a doctrine. You know what I mean? They're only going to preach something a certain way. They're not going to preach against that particular way because they might lose their tax exempt. You get what I'm saying? Based on United States of America type stuff. You know what I mean? So religion and spirituality and all that stuff, that's where they kind of mix it up. And if we understand what true religion is, if you knit, you could be the best knitter. That's your religion. You get what I'm saying? That's something you practice religiously. Now, you could be a good knitter or you could be a hating knitter. You get what I'm saying? You sabotage all the other knitters on the block. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between good, take away a O, you have God, and evil, add a D, you have devil. You get what I'm saying? As August was saying earlier, a lot of this stuff is just a play on the same thing, and it's all based on like how you process it. You know what I mean? And when you find your understanding, then that's the best thing we can do in layman's terms is to become a better version of yourself every day. It's as simple as that. Whatever it is that you're practicing, you become a better version of you tomorrow. Don't worry about what such and such doing, what such and such is saying, because that's poison. That's the program. And if you take that in, you will become that. You will start thinking that of yourself. You get what I'm saying? So every day you just become a better version of yourself. And nothing else matters.
Okay, so can I say this then? Let's try and do away with religion and everybody embark on a spiritual journey. And let's see how that works out. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I just think that that idea of controlling people through heaven and hell and controlling the masses through indoctrination coming into the world, I just don't think that's fair to humanity. I think everybody should start a spiritual journey and let it see where it takes them. For some people, that's going to be back to, whatever religion they were indoctrinated into. It may take them to a different religion. It may not take them back to religion at all. It may take them on a journey of exactly that, spirituality. And Tasha was talking about the spiritual awakening that she just went through and she's been experiencing for a little over a year now. For me personally, it's going to be controversial, and some people are going to be mad, but I just think if we could do away with religion and everybody embark upon a spiritual journey, I think as humanity, I think we could be in a better place. Because just like Chief said, it's about being a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. And if we're always striving to be that better version, we'll never reach it. But I just think we'll be some damn good people by the end of the journey. So with that being said, if anybody has to go, let me know now, because I want to bring in Miss Sexy Tarot and let her speak about her expertise as far as tarot readings and decks. I have a few questions for you. And surprise, surprise, I'm going to get a reading live on
sure
the
you
show.
want me to tell your business on this live?
I'm sorry?
You sure you want me to tell your business on this live?
Hey,
Right.
Listen, if you have
I'm gonna be kind.
I want you to be, what did Goddess say? I want you to be, what kind of honest she said? I don't know, be as
I'm not gonna lie.
honest as you can be. Just say it. That doesn't make me any difference whatsoever. I mean, yeah, it does make me a difference. Like, I'm curious, just like D shocked the hell out of me. That was unexpected, D, and I appreciate that, and I'll be hitting you up after the show, but that immediately was like, wait a minute, like, I don't know her like that. You know what I mean? Last time I seen her in person was 2011, because she moved in 2012, and that wasn't even about her. It was, meeting we had about some business. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And to hear that now is like, well, wait a minute. So yeah, I am ready. So what I need you to do first is, because somebody will win a tarot reading, if they want, valued at over $200 just by tuning into the show tonight. If you want. Again, it may not be for everybody, but if you're into tarot readings and you want to win, she's going to explain to you how you can win, number one. Then number two, she's going to give us some background on tarot, the history of it, what brought her to it, and then we're going to get right into my reading. I'm still nervous.
All right, can you hear me?
I can definitely hear you.
So first off, I'm going to allow you to pick the winner of the tarot reading, as this is your forum.
Okay, I'll pick the winner, but here's the thing, and I'll tell people right now, if you want to win, you have to redeem it by November 18th, which is a little under a month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see who listens to the podcast, right? And at the end, you're going to give me a word, right? And you're just going to pick a random word from whatever it is that you're saying. So if the people really listen to the whole show, they'll know what words you're talking about, and that person shoots me that word in my inbox, shares the podcast, they will win the reading if they want it, okay? So that's the way we'll do that. So give us a little bit of history of what tarot is, because you don't just read cards, you read dice as well. So give us some background on what it is that you do, what brought you to it, and then we can get into, my reading live on air.
Well, first off, hello everyone. When I was born, this is very important. My father was Muslim, my mother was Baptist. They put me in Catholic school. I went to a Jewish camp, and my grandmother was a Jehovah's Witness. You can check that.
Wow.
And with all that being said, all I liked was stars and science and rocks and planets. That's all I was ever drawn to. I could see things. I would get my ass whipped for making predictions that kind of hurt people's feelings at the age of 5 or 6. And I didn't understand it. So this is a gift that was almost beat out of me. And so I had a complex about myself, speaking my truth, walking my path. And one day, I don't know what happened, I just didn't give a shit anymore. So I accumulated over 80 tarot decks and as many crystals as I wanted to collect. And I did moon rituals, and it wasn't scripted. It was very organic. It was just part of me. And with it being part of me, I learned more about me. And learning more about me helped me find those pain points in life that we gloss over and we push down and say, oh, you know what? No, I'm fine. Oh, you just have an attitude today, or I never liked any of those statements. So what I learned with tarot, it was very spiritual, although some people like to say that's the devil work. So you start off with a major arcana, the 0, the fool. That's the baby. You're born, you're like a fool, you know nothing, right? Then you have 1, the magician. You have all the tools you need, but you don't know quite what to do with the tools. Then you have 2, the high priestess. This is your intuition that's deep within you that helps you figure out how to use these tools. Then you have the 3, the empress, and you nurture and you grow and you realize you have abundance all around you. And then you have 4, the emperor, and you learn how to control these things and organize them. And 5, with the hierophant, that's a structure, the organization. And this is when we come into our spirituality. You have 6, you have the lovers. This is when how you make choices. What do you gravitate to? What do you truly love? You have 7. Move forward confidently in those things with the chariot. Then you have 8, which is your strength. You grow stronger as you move forward. You become confident. Then you have 9. You get epiphany. So you might go in a hermit mode, because right now you need to spend time with yourself to figure things out. Then you have 11, which is justice. You want to do what's fair and what's right for the greater good of yourself and love. Then you have 12, because sometimes you just got to hang there and figure it out like the hangman. Then you have 13, which is death. It's that transformation. That's when you got to end this to start something new. And then you have 14, Good old 14. Let me explain something to you. Tarot is to heal what is revealed. A lot of times I find people wanting to know the fuck shit. What is he doing? How does he feel about me? If you take the time to know who you are as a person, when these cards reveal to you that this person is cheating on you, ask yourself, why do you keep attracting somebody to cheat on you? It's not a punishment. It's not to beat you down. But sometimes we got to heal ourselves within before we can have healthy connections on the outside. So I love tarot for that reason. Okay.
She just preached, honey. She just preached. Church.
So that's tarot made more sense to me than any religion. And I
archetypes.
So many people, and not on purpose, but I, for lack of a better term, I have people who, I like the word the chief used, religiously want to know what the cards reveal. So I started my channel November of last year, and I said this channel's growing slow until my nephew said, 305 subscribers in less than a year. Do you know how much work that is? I don't know. I'm not a social media person.
What's the name
All
of the
I
page?
know
What's
is
the name of the channel?
I do tarot tip for healing. That's it.
What's the name of the channel?
Sexy Tarot.
CEXX
XXITAROT. Here, the black side is better. Can you see that?
It's all right. I'll make sure the information is added everywhere.
You can search it. It'll come right up.
It will be posted. So
Yeah, the tarot is all archetypes.
And the
So
cards
we all have those.
That's
they
right.
are.
That's right.
But
And
those
say,
archetypes exist in all of our consciousness.
People say, why do you need so many decks? Different decks reveal different things. As a matter of fact, give me a quick minute. I'm gonna grab this deck real quick.
Yeah, they're all
have
archetypes.
any of you guys had tarot readings before?
Yeah, and I do tarot too.
I've had tarot readings.
Yeah.
All readings are different and serve a different purpose, right?
Okay.
You know, a tarot reader is not going to work the same way as an astrological reader. An astrological reader or a tarot reader is not going to work the same way as a reader like me, who's naturally intuitive, and it's mostly energy. You know, my girl Mbele Congo, she's that bitch when it comes to reading. Like, I told her, I said, Mbele, I need a reading. I picked up the phone with her ass cleaning the fucking house while she giving me a reading, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? And she was so on point. I found out things I didn't. Let me tell you something. Because she's a psychic medium, she's a natural psychic. Your ancestors, people come through finding out their fucking ancestry, what your ancestors process. Like a reading where you can go to and ask no questions, you will find out so much because those people are natural and they know what they're doing. And this game is filled with so much bullshit, right? And so many fakes and so many imposters, people just trying to pimp the spiritual game, and that's another whole other show. That when you get those people who are not watered down and authentic, crazy. I think everybody should get one up. You should get all 3 readings annually, just like you do your physical, because it is your life path. You need to get a natural spiritual reading. You need an astrological reading because the stars do not lie. I chart my business out. I get my business charted through astrology. And you need to get them cards pulled too. Just like you need to go take and get your PEP and take and get your mammogram and take and get your annual.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I have a question. Who's the guy with the overalls behind you? Talk to. The guy with suspenders.
Oh, top of my head.
Okay, I just see suspended. I just see suspenders. Yeah, like those jean suspenders.
Probably my dad. What do you look like?
Okay.
See, you can't, you can't say it to everybody. Some people would have fucking
Yeah.
crashed. How you know I wouldn't have crashed? You tell me that shit. I'm like, all right.
Just so we knew
It
we
was-
were
it
going
was
for
bothering
Shit just
me.
freaked me out. I started looking.
It was
what
bothering
they
me. He has
talking
like
about?
he has like a mini fro, he has like a mini fro, and he looks like a little greasy. He looks a little greasy or
Oh, I don't know
little.
who that was. But here's the thing. I was right by a highway, and so it could have been anybody.
I just see a guy like this is the freaking overall, the suspenders, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know.
You see anybody behind me right now, bro?
I heard something. No, I kept hearing something about Buddy with the barber shop. I kept hearing that.
Buddy
Yeah,
with
he
the
ain't
barber
bothering. Yeah, he ain't bothering me, so I ain't worrying about him.
Yeah.
Hey, August, do you see any children around me right now?
Like about 5.
You
Yeah,
got a
so
little girl
just
somewhere?
so you know, I really wasn't going to reveal this, but so children who have transitioned, who were murdered, they contact me constantly. That's what I do.
It's about.
Well, y'all getting into a whole other show.
All right, so
Now,
That's what I'm asking
now
you.
people gonna be like,
Because a lot of
"Damn,
times
who
we
the
just
fuck you
kids
know?"
around me.
wait a minute. Let me.
Yeah, it
Let
could
me-
be that Shannon. What you don't understand is
Buddy with the
That's
barber shop.
intense. Okay.
there's so many things that can be touched on because spirituality is so vast in the spiritual world. Like my sheikh said, nobody, if anybody tell you they can write a book on the spiritual world, on the spirit world, they're lying. It is so vast, and there's so
Right.
many different pieces, and it is so. You can't even describe it in one word because there's so much.
Our brains can't perceive it.
And it's not that our brain can't perceive it; it's just too much. Like it's not. It's just so
Yeah,
much.
and that's what I was gonna say.
Every
It
time you
seems
turn
so
a corner,
intense.
yes, every time you turn a corner, there's another experience, right? And just when you think you understand, you like, no, but you have to understand when you're in the spirit world, you're dealing with spirit. You're dealing with things that have no body and are thousands and millions of years older than you and have a wisdom that you can't even begin to fathom because it's never been encased and trapped and limited by a physical body. You feel me?
So let me, Sexy Tarot, I have 2 questions, and then we're going to go into the reading. Number 1, how do you choose the deck that you're going to use for a reading? And the second question is are there other ways to interpret the decks as they come out, or what you get from every card that you reveal, it is what it is based off your interpretation of what's revealed?
So the first thing is, how do I feel today? That's most important. Because if I feel like being an asshole, you're going to get a rebel deck, a very rebellious deck. And it's a reason for that. Because if I feel that way, that means there's something you need to hear that's a hard truth.
So how you feeling this evening?
I feel great. I feel happy.
All
No.
right. Okay.
So I'm inclined to give you a spiritual.
Okay. All right.
So, but how I choose my decks, to be honest with you, most times people will email me when they want personal readings, and just based off of the tone of the email, how they're posing their question, I could tell if they're in pain or if they're looking for money. I can just pick it up. It's very intuitive. Now, some people have specific purposes, so I do have purpose decks, right? So depending on if, like, I had union leaders that reach out to me. I had special decks because they mostly want to know about black business. Now, when it comes to my tarot channel, that's just purely how I feel.
Okay.
How I feel and what spirit is guiding me to tell the viewers. But I need to say this, on my channel, that's mostly love, but I am about to start sexy soul conversation, because all that love stuff, no offense, love is not like high on my agenda as far as like a couple relationship. That's just what people want. What's high on my agenda is, do you know why you feel the way you feel? Do you know why you're in pain? Do you know where you should begin to heal that pain? That's really all me personally, I feel like love is the highest vibration of all. People talk about the negative things in the world, but when they realize that they are actually birthing the negative things in the world, it is so deep. It's so deep.
People are not ready for that conversation. They don't want to do the work.
Because they're looking.
They want somebody else to fix it.
Stuff that they're actually manifesting.
They want somebody else outside of them to fix it. They're not trying to do it themselves, but they're the only person that can do it.
I think you got a lot more than you bargained for. You didn't know what the hell kind of show you was getting into. I don't think.
No, he didn't. But you know what?
Hey,
I'm gonna tell you this. Shannon.
I know we gonna do it again.
You pulled out 3 7s from the gate. I've been shuffling while you was talking. So you thinking a lot. You deep. Go ahead, bro.
The reading started?
Oh, it started from the moment you addressed me.
Okay, but listen. Okay. Listen, you have the floor. And I want you to just explain to the people, because again, some people won't be getting the visual first, they'll be getting the audio, but walk us through what's happening as you're doing my reading. And let me buckle my seatbelt, okay?
Okay.
I think you're about to get tag teamed, because since when you just said that it resonated with something else I got from him, but I just kept my mouth shut.
Oh, hey, listen.
Guess what?
Do not hold back.
Listen,
I
that's what I want to tell her. Listen, D. First of all, I love you. I just need to know. I need some crystals, and I'm gonna reach out. Okay?
Yeah.
Powerful. Oh, I got chills. I love all this. You know, D. As I'm doing this reading, do what you do.
So listen, Indigo Gabro, they call it magical Merlinite. This people need to use this when they do shadow work, which I don't know if you're familiar with that, but when she said that you're thinking a lot, you have a lot going on to where as though you don't understand, you question yourself about the things that are not right because you pride yourself on being a good person. So the things that you say and do that are not, that to you are not right, you question yourself about. It's like a journey between the good and evil. So what the Merlinite does is it helps us to understand our dark side, because everyone has it. Remember, you got to respect the balance. Understanding your dark will make your light shine brighter. So things that you do, you wouldn't necessarily don't beat yourself up about it. Embrace it and explore yourself. Okay, why does that trigger this? Why did I respond like that? Learn the dark side. So number one, your light can shine brighter. Number two, you can learn how and when to use it and to manage it better.
Yes. So with that said, interestingly enough, the reason for your reading came out as 5 of action. Okay, which is like the 5 of wands. So it's like you're mentally conflicted. There may be a lot going on. You're trying to build, and there's some dramas going on. And your angels want you to know that your current challenges push you to be assertive and self-confident. Be willing to stand up for yourself, defend your position. Because what happened is, right, when you started that pre-live, and them people start coming at you, they was trying to bring you drama. You got haters. And see, when you master that part of, when you don't care what nobody else think, brother, you need to be open to success. In some way, you a small barrier to your success. Okay?
Which brings you to blue kyanite. Blue kyanite is a throat chakra stone, right? And it speaks to speaking truth, but also it is a protector against those who like to gaslight, right? With the people who make your haters, who chatter, Sean, you should do this or you should do that, or try to make you feel bad about something that you are doing, or you got a lot of people around you that have a sense of entitlement and feel they give you the black tax, feel like that is some shit that you need to be doing for them, that you should be hooking them up, that you should be giving them a piece of your pie, when it's like, damn, I got my own, but because you're such a sweetie pie, you have a hard time asserting yourself with them, so you just kind of like ghost them.
Right. So Shannon, as she was talking, I went to my Rebel deck, and it said, "You are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. Go speak the truth."
You asked for this shit. Look at his face.
Listen, because I got it all kind kind of ways. You want a nice, I get it nice. You want a sweet, I got a sweet. But I'm vibing off you right now in the message you giving him. Okay?
Ooh.
And listen, Shannon, because you powerful. You on to something. And listen, see, this is where spirituality gets deep. Sometimes people get in your way, don't know they get in your way, don't know how they get in your way, but they in your way. Does that make sense? Sometimes people do things that don't even know.
I almost want to take off the headphones. Shit.
Okay. So you have to find that balance. Because interestingly enough, be open to success. Look at all the wonderful things you can do when you listen to your divine guidance. Interestingly enough, balance and feminine came out. So you have to balance your yin and yang energies. You balance yourself out. It's okay. But you, all these sevens, I have 7, 7, 7. Straight out came out. It's like you constantly thinking. You're focused. You always just a churn and a churn.
A lot of people say that to me. A lot of people say that to me, that I'm extremely over analytical, and that, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of nights I can't sleep because the brain won't shut off, and then I'm always feeling like I gotta get this done, I gotta get that done, and all of it is success driven, and things have been happening lately, and I'm gonna be honest about this. A lot of things that are happening
Another
now,
7 just fell the hell out.
I prayed for it to happen, and it's starting to unfold in the way that I didn't expect it to, but
never does.
Right.
But it's happening.
Wow.
The success is coming, and you know, I don't know if. Well, let me say this before you continue. This is intense because, like I said, I didn't want you guys to hold back, and I didn't know that energy and that information was going to be channeled through you. But I just got to say I'm appreciative, and I want you guys to keep going and just let me know when you're done. But right now, this is really blowing me right now. It's not blowing my mind, but it is enlightening and giving me something I had no idea what to expect. And for you guys to be getting it so right, to, you know, as far as I'm concerned, because it's about me, it's mind blowing. It really is.
So you have the 7 of water, which is the 7 of cups. The first thing I want to tell you is don't limit yourself. There are many options open to you. Like as far as your success, like many. Just if you can master that yin and yang energy, right? But not only that, there's so many opportunities with this Ace of Pentacles. You have many options for opportunity for success. But all the thinking you do, like you overthink to the point where you don't know which way to go with this 2 of air. It's like a lot of thoughts, but you have beauty here. You have abundance here. And I think what happened is you become impatient as to the outcomes, right? So you keep focusing, it should go this way, it should go that way. Release the control, slow down, don't worry, okay? The hard work.
You need to get your chart, your natal chart done and see what's.
I was gonna ask, are you a Gemini?
He gives a shit. He got a little. You give too much of shit about the eyes on you. You care too much about what other people think and how you are perceived, right? So you know what you want to do. You know what burns in you, but you care too much about your image.
Sound like us Virgos.
Pisces.
And interestingly enough, under 7 of abundance, spirit is trying to get your attention because 3 major arcana fell out. You have the Hermit, you have the High Priestess, and you have the Hanged One. And let me tell you what I'm getting from this. So, with all the thinking you're doing, you're more logical. Okay?
That's a fact.
You want to feel your way through a little bit. What makes your heart happy? How do you want to do things that you're doing? Are you just letting everybody input data into you and it puts you through this whirlwind of this thought? So when you go into yourself, Spirit is saying, don't think about what other people are telling you. Use your intuition with this High Priestess card. Yes, take your time out, your moment for clarity. Be unto yourself, but use your intuition. And it's okay. Hang there a minute because you'll get a new perspective. But you're using logic and you need to let your crown take over. Like, how can I, your intuition, not the brain. What do you feel? What do you feel? It's telling me to say, what do you feel? Because you got all these sevens here. And August, what you say? It's a Gemini. Shit, I got Gemini, Libra, and something, and you probably got all the air like right up there. Feel, okay? And then it's like you confused.
You need to check this North Node.
Yeah, it's like you confused about something going on in your life right now. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to hold back.
Don't hold back.
All right. So you was confused.
I'm gonna be honest with this.
So this show just gave you clarity about some confusion you had, right? And you recognized it probably when Dee was talking. Okay?
Is it another business? I'm
gonna tell you. It is. It is another business. The fool came out. Hold on. So you want to take a risk, but you waiting on some sign or some message. You confused. It's all these sevens. Damn. See, I got so many decks, so whatever's gonna come out, the cards gonna repeat. And for you, it's just sevens.
Basically, what feels right, bro? What feels right?
Just feel your way through.
See, and I gotta be honest. I rarely make decisions based off of emotion. I every time
that's your script, though.
Well, I see. I didn't know that. I mean, for me, I'll sit there. I'll think about it. I'll make a pros and cons list. I'll try to do a little forecasting, research, and before I make any decision. And I really should trust my gut more often. I really should.
You should go in nature more.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Trust your gut more. Mm-hmm. Your gut talks to you so much, but you back to
that's so crazy. I suppress it all the time.
Not wanting to be wrong.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly
true. But here's the thing: when you follow your gut, your gut talks to you so much that it's talking to you right now. Your stomach getting tight, ain't it?
Yeah, and I gotta keep moving around and get comfortable.
I know, cause I feel it.
No, this shit is crazy. This is crazy. I don't mean any disrespect when I say this is crazy. Okay?
No.
It's real life effect right now.
Blowing you out.
And I keep trying to. You guys are watching live. I keep doing my shit, trying to get comfortable.
Can I chime in real quick, please?
Go ahead, brother.
And this just to shake you a little more, Shannon, and for the non-believers that's listening, because I know they're hearing some of the stuff that Sexy Tarot is saying and August is saying. They like, see, they miss. Well, Sexy Tarot, I'm a Gemini. Okay, and Mr. August, my great grandfather, who I think that I am, worked on the railroads down in Virginia. He wore overalls.
No, and he not lying. He just was telling me about the land. He left him down there, bro.
How about this?
Yeah.
He said something about a barbershop?
Yeah, something about Buddy with the barbershop. That's all I keep
2
hearing.
weeks overdue for my haircut.
So basically, your granddaddy is over here around me because he got some shit to tell you and I ain't listening, so he got
it. But listen, for the non-believers, you got to understand that we all coming across the same broadcast, so it can get mixed up.
He rejecting love right now, bro. I'm gonna tell him too. He rejecting love somewhere.
Yeah, but here it is. But this is what people need to understand about
the chief.
Huh?
Oh, the chief.
What you say? He projecting love.
Say that again.
I'm sorry. No, that's the 2 of coins. I can't see. He figured something out. Go ahead. I'm telling you what he figured out in a minute.
That's why I wanted to just put that out there, so it wasn't no message.
He figured out a new avenue of money. That's what he just figured out.
But Chief, can you tell
It's my great grandpappy, and trust me, after this is over, he will leave.
But listen,
Thank you. Tell great grandpappy to go somewhere because I lied to you not. The way it is with me, spirits, and I say spirits, they communicate whether they are living or dead. Like I've had situations where I was driving down the highway and someone's living spirit had a message for someone else and that came to me. I'm on a fucking highway and everything he was feeling, I'm feeling, right? I tell you, I've never met the man. He was still alive, but he was sick. And I'm driving down the highway and here's these pictures coming in my head of this man in this hospital bed. And he was hooked up to some machines. It was something with his neck. It was another person in the room with him. There was a woman. And the doctor standing over him, and the prognosis was not good. I knew who the dude was. It was my friend in Philly, her boyfriend in North Carolina. Everything he's feeling, I'm feeling. Mind you, I'm fucking driving. So I go to her. After I park, I'm like, yo, where's so-and-so? And have you talked to him? She's like, no, I've been trying to get in contact with him. I haven't spoken to him in 2 weeks. Well, when she finally got in contact with him, he was in the hospital. He had issues with his lymph nodes in his neck because he was a cancer patient. He was out of here about 3 or 4 months after that. So, when I say I don't be having time for people to be coming over here, I got shit that I need to do. So tell Grandpappy he must be cool because I'm glad that he ain't do all that. And I didn't know, and I only knew he was here because the dude was here, because the dude seen him. But tell Grandpappy he can come over there with you. Go set him up his altar, have your talk, but he don't need to be coming over here with me.
He was just in the back of the car, like, I don't know. It could have been his car. Yeah. He was just talking. He was just like right there.
Was he a gardener?
No, he was a coal man.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's why I saw like the soot and grease like all over him. Like he just
He
got.
said
I was gonna say,
just
because I
got
don't know
the
why he came over
suspenders.
here. I just know I just came from getting some plants, so I'm like, maybe he likes my damn plants. I don't know.
My family name on my father's side is Coleman, and as I, did the research is because they worked on the railroads. So the first name James was prolific. The name you slave that when Jamestown was established. So it's 3 James Colemans ahead of me.
Did he have a red pickup truck? Who has a red pickup truck?
I'm not sure. I didn't meet my great grandfather.
So
old
I
red
don't know,
pickup.
but like I said,
So
tell your
let me-
Grandpappy he can come go with you. He can come do what he got to do.
It's
Well,
funny, Chief,
Shannon.
because we talked about some stuff, and you was telling me about it, because he had left you some land, and we had talked about this months ago, and I didn't know this was going to turn out like this.
He didn't leave it to me per se. He passed away, and the family had been trying to keep it up. The last family member had passed away like in the early 90s, and I was trying to save it.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Sexy Tarot.
Right.
I
So
want you to be able to finish the reading. And by all means, if somebody else, don't hold back, don't hesitate to chime in.
You sure you want this? Because I keep saying, your business.
Listen, I'm okay with that. I'm
So-
okay.
All right, Sexy
This
Tarot.
will be the...
no, this is good. This ain't even about your business or like that. So
I don't mind either way. Trust me, I don't mind. Like, go
So
for
I'm
it.
being told to tell you, you need to charge forward confidently because spirit is with you in another 7. That's the chariot, by the way. Because you have like a star quality about you. This is a fresh start. It's like you're starting over, like a fresh start. And there's potential, like this, what you're doing, you're developing a love. You have a love for it. You have a love for it. So much a love for it, it's going to bring you in great nurturing abundance. You're not even ready for the abundance. Your children will be able to eat off of this. If you keep trudging forward confidently, this will be your legacy. This will be your legacy. Okay? All right, I'm put my cigarette down.
How many 7s was that?
Can I ask you a question, Shannon?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And she was right, by the way, because the one thing I always said was during, whether it was my radio show, the Crush and Roll Morning Show, or the incarnation of the big exclusive show before this podcast, I always said doing this is very cathartic for me. It's very therapeutic. And when I don't do it, I miss it so much because I love the interaction with the people and I love being able to, you know, speak my mind and not feel like that I'm being judged or I owe anybody anything. But to have people even listen, consider, and then respond to some of the thoughts that I have, it's important to me. Like I said, I'm a very logical person. This affords me the opportunity to be as creative as I can be. And that's why I said, while we're in the moment, don't hold back.
There's a warning with this, Shannon. They're telling me to tell you to guard your ideas. Do not give them out prematurely. They're saying, basically you have somebody around you that's a parrot, and they want you to guard this because whatever you're working on is going to be very successful. But what's going to happen is you're going to start hearing from people you ain't hear from in a long time. It's almost like, remember me. No, fuck all that. They're going to be trying to come around, and what's going to happen is they're going to want you to start healing and fixing their situations, and can you put me on, and really it's filled with treachery. It's filled with
that goes back to what I said to him earlier. That goes right back to what I said to him earlier about those people coming in with the black tech.
That's right. And the Seven of Swords was clarified by the devil. Okay, by the devil. So it's going to...
All right, that is kind of...
Listen,
Can I ask you a question,
watch out for
Shannon?
the temptress. Well, I don't know who this is. Watch out for the temptress. Temptress is trying to lock you down with sex. It's somebody. Listen. I'm trying to be cool because I'm getting a lot of shit, and I don't know nobody's situations. That's what I'm saying. like, just be cool.
Stop worrying about that. I'm
okay.
grown.
So there's somebody around you, or they're going to be. Somebody watching everything you're doing, yo. You got somebody that's like really plotting on your abundance.
But your daughter is your protector in ways that you don't know.
I'm about to ask him about does he have a daughter? I was about to ask that.
I have two girls, Kayla and Cameron.
All right, is somebody wants like a purple dress?
Say that again.
There's somebody that wants like a purple dress or something, like you're supposed to be getting them something like that, like something that they want to wear. Are you supposed to be buying that? You promised or something like that? I don't know. It's like you're supposed to be doing something for them, or
I'm trying to pinpoint that.
It's like there's gonna come a time like if she says like, can you please do this for me? Please get that for me. I want to feel like things are normal, and you may feel like, this is not the right move. You know, you're gonna feel logically about it, like this is not the right move. But if you go against that, and if you actually do that, if you actually do it for her out of just pure love, like unconditional love, meaning like you're not looking for anything in return, you're not looking for the payoff or the consequence, etc. You're just doing it because you love your daughter. Go with that. Go with that move.
Bro, them girls have carte blanche when it comes to all of my cards, okay? They, both of them just recently had birthdays. Cameron, September 26th, Kayla, October 14th. And they celebrate by the week. So there's really nothing that I can think of that they want that they didn't get. It's hard. It's hard for me to tell them.
I don't know. Then it may not be monetary. You know what I mean? It's
okay.
Like it's really something like you're gonna think logically about it, and then, but if you go with the intuitive move, that's the best way.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. That's maybe something like. Yeah, that may be something like
so that's
6 months down the line.
They telling me to tell you that when this temptress like showed up 3 times. I want to say a Capricorn. I really want to say a Capricorn. And the reason I'm saying this is all about your money, whatever this is. And this person is very manipulative. It's the way they phrase their words to you. It's like what I'm getting is they're talking to you like they want to help you level up or move forward. And I have been known to make predictions. So if this thing happened yet, just watch it, because this person
it's actually it's actually
this person is very easy on the eyes, and they make your loins like I just got you ever had a Kundalini awakening? Anybody? And you know how that go all through your body? Like whoever this is, they get you going, and like you kind of melt, right? And they just tell me you better watch this person, because they just waiting for you to expand and get to a certain place, because they want you to be their security, right? And really, they stress about this. They stress about this.
Yeah, well, too bad for them. My number one priority is always going to be my girls. I
see that right here with the Empress, with all the kids around, and the abundance.
I don't care how good you look. Like, nothing's going to come before
Look, I'm just giving a message, bro.
Talk to me. And now, I see you said there are a lot of sevens. Is that just the way they fell? Does that mean anything?
So while you were... No. So the sevens have nothing to do with the woman. The sevens was all about you. And
okay.
Seven represents like thoughts, things you just like is thinking. But what was interesting is the amount of sevens that fell out for you. I have many decks here. I just pulled these together. There were 2 sevens in here. You have 4 laying here. That's 6 sevens, right? Okay. So there's a balance you need to have, because this 6 times 7 is 42, 4 and 2 is 6. There's a balance you need to have. And interestingly enough, you said both of your daughters are Libras, is what I heard. So that will keep you balanced. It will keep you balanced. Listening, feeling their emotions, you understand? But once you realize, just be open to success, it's yours. You don't have to worry too much. Your team is phenomenal. And you're very like Queen of Swordish, they telling me. And the Queen of Sword is somebody that like, they've been through some things. They've been hurt, right? And it's like, but you're very firm. Is this? Is this that? To the point where sometimes you're coming off as a little mean, and they telling me to tell you, lighten up.
That's true. That is absolutely 100% true. That is true. So,
they say introduce more compassion and love, and when you speak to those that like work with you.
No, because Don ass was late today, getting me started. And I was barking at him, and that's funny because that was like real time, right before you guys got to come on. I have to ask for you to, was that it? Was that the reading?
Well, I just made it organic.
Yes. Okay.
That's what I did. I just rolled with y'all. But do you? So listen, I'm sorry because I'm such a. I love this Rebel deck.
This new deck?
And they said some good shit is about to happen. Don't let your issues fuck it up, Shannon.
Okay.
I love this deck. I'm sorry. I love the deck. I love this deck. Okay. I'm a double Scorpio, by the way, people. In case you're wondering where this is coming from.
So, with that being said, just so you guys know, if you guys want a reading from Sexy Tarot, you will have an opportunity to get a free reading on the Big Exclusive podcast. There's going to be a keyword that I announce. If you watch the video to the end, you'll know what that keyword is, or a phrase, or whatever it is. Just go back to the show, listen for it, and if you can listen and give me the timestamp where it was said for the first time, then you'll win a reading, which you will have to redeem before November 18th. Is there anybody who wants to say anything else before I start to summarize the show and get us out of here for the evening? The one thing I will say is that from the information, like I said earlier, from the information and the feedback, is that we will have to do this again because there are more questions that are popping up. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell everybody who's listening now, this will be on YouTube with, by the weekend. Today we record on a Tuesday. It should be there by Friday. Friday, no later than Saturday. And if you have questions, go to the YouTube, make sure you check it out. Or if you're watching on YouTube now, leave your questions below in the comment section. And also, I want everybody to give out their social media information right now to give people an opportunity to follow you if they have any follow-up questions, if they want a reading, if they want to get some crystals, if they want to join the tribe, and all this. If they need your help in speaking or putting together some, what do you call it? What do you call it? I don't want to seem ignorant and say the wrong thing, but if they need some conjuring, is the word I was looking for. Jeez. They can reach out to you guys. So with that being said, one at a time, we're gonna go with the ladies first. Give out your social media information, your website, and your YouTube pages if you have them. And then fellas, I'll let you guys finish it off. Then we'll have closing statements, and then we're gonna get out of here.
My fan page and my YouTube page are the same, Sexy Tarot, CEXXIEAROT. Shannon, your advice is go in nature, take a vacation. Rejuvenating, overthinking is not going to help you reach your issues. So I didn't want to give you that advice. Okay. Also, I look forward to hearing from you. Reach out. I'm done.
Thank you. D.
Unmute. Okay. Yes. Facebook, I am the Zen Company. It's facebook.com/Zen Company Online. Instagram, I am at the Zen Company Online. You can follow me on there. Most of my work is on there. And also all of my work is on my website, thezencompanyonline.com. And that's my social media. That's my contact information. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions. I am available. Inbox me, DM me, message me. We're good.
Okay, August.
You may find me at, you got your pen and paper? Ready? Yeah? Good?
I do.
All right. All right, you can find me at Instagram at August_MIDNITE. And you can find me on YouTube, the same name, August Midnight.
Chief, how do people join your tribe? Can people join your tribe?
Yes and
I definitely will. Attempt.
The main thing to join my tribe of Lost Indians is you have to already be on that road of proving it to yourself, or have proven it to yourself already. The reason why I came up with what I call the tribe is because 9 times out of 10, if the tribe is still around that you're a descendant of, it's a lot of work that has to be done. And I'm on that path of doing that work. So we might as well do it together.
Okay, give me your social media information and how they can follow up with you.
Most people are on Instagram now, right?
Yeah.
Instagram. Yep. Okay. My Instagram is Chief PBR. CHIEF PBR. The YouTube is not yet set up. The email is intelligentsavage@gmail.com. intelligentsavage@gmail.com. And my Facebook has yet to make the transition. The Facebook is Poppy Montega. POPPYMONTEGA.
Let me kind of finish the show by saying thank you to everybody who was a part of the show.
To say.
Oh, go for it.
If you're watching, go to my website. There's a couple things that I need you to get. You need to get the money bags. You can read the reviews and see how great they work. Everybody who get my money bags gets the money. Sage, you can't sage everywhere. Get the sage spray, especially that you got the lavender sage and you got the fuck out of here spray, which is an upgrade from the lavender sage. We're not arguing with nobody. We ain't having no negative energy nowhere we go, so you're going to keep the sage spray in your pocket, and when you're somewhere where the vibes ain't right, you're going to spray that shit and you're going to be fine. Read the reviews on that, too. That works like crazy. So you got the money bags, you got the Zen money pyramids, and you got any one of my sprays. So make sure that you get those.
All right, give them the website again, because I'm about to go
Wait,
right now.
Steve. Is it named the Get the Fuck Out of Here spray?
Isn't that the spray is named Fuck Out of Here? I mixed up. What I did was I made a crystal elixir with some very protective crystals, and then I made a mother tincture that has, because sage is not, all energies are not made equally. So all herbs that protect from energies and clean energies are not. And I know we all love sage, but sage needs some buddies to go with it. So I made a mother tincture with that, and I diluted with the crystal elixir that I made. And when I say that shit is like raid, a lot of my people use it at work, and motherfuckers disappear. They don't work there no more. Yes. They don't work no more, or they get transferred out, or they just leave them the fuck alone. We're not arguing with people. We just spray it.
That's right.
So this lavender sage spray, is this it?
I got lavender sage, I got fuck out of here, and I got go zen yourself, which is you got the Nagtaba incense. Like I said, everybody can't take smoke,
right? Because
asthma or whatever, and you can't take that, you can't light that shit up everywhere that you go. The Nagtaba, so I got it's called Nagtaba. It's go zen yourself, Nagtaba amethyst. So I have it's Nagtaba essential oil in there, and there's the crystal elixir is amethyst, and there's amethyst in the bottom of the bottle. And when you spray it one time, I swear to God, you just be floating because it smells so good and it's so relaxing.
How much are they?
It depends. They start out the one I got 1 ounce bottles, which start out at like $2.99. They don't last. They don't. The people who get my sprays, people get my sprays like they keep coming back because they get either they spray it around somebody and then that person try to steal it from them, and they get. I got somebody who like, no, I charge people $5 a spray for this shit, but you got the they start. I say the 2 ounce bottles and the 4 ounce bottles start at $12.99 on up, $12.99 to $29.99.
No, that's reasonable.
It is, and y'all be missing them. So I just had a sale of buy 2 get 1. But people who buy my sprays, they stay by my sprays.
Let me do this for my folks out there. Mind you, we live, so it's not like I can welch. It's not like I can take my word back. But I'll tell you what, if you bring the sale back and you make the code big exclusive, I'll buy 10 right now.
I will bring the code back. You talking about the code for the buy 2 get 1?
For the buy 2 get 1. I'll buy 10 right now of the $12.99. Bring the code back for my folks, and I'm going to give some away for the people who listen to the show tonight.
You ain't saying nothing because I'm going to my site right now. And I'm going to bring the code back for your people only, right?
Right.
Can you say the site again?
Say that again?
Can you repeat the website?
TheZenCompanyOnline.com, but wait a minute, I have to get in there so I can make the code.
So if you watching this on YouTube, it's already up there. It's 2 for 1. Fuck out of here spray. Smokeless saging. Get them negative energies and people up off you. I just bought 10.
Say it again, Shannon. Say it again. I like the way you say it. Someone about to spray again.
The fuck out of here spray.
Yeah.
And the smokeless sage. Get them negative people up off you. Right? I just bought 10 and I'm going to give them away for free. It won't cost you anything. But be sure I don't even have to tell you to be sure. Shit worked like she said it worked, like she read me tonight, you'll be back for more, okay? And if you're listening and you want something, right? And you want something, follow at Big Exclusive on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll figure out a way to give all the sprays away. I'll buy something for me. I'm buying 10 just to give away. Okay?
Oh, can I say one more
And here's
thing?
the thing. When you buy, let me tell you something. You're not going to give all 10 of them away because when you spray, you're going to want to keep this shit. I'm telling you. But I just activated the code.
Okay.
So what happens if they put 3 sprays in their cart, they'll get 1 free. And so the checkout, the code to use at checkout is Big Exclusive.
Oh, I'm getting mine tonight. Really, I am. Shannon, may I say one more thing?
Please, by all means.
For those who may find my tarot readings very expensive, I am very adamant about keeping my YouTube channel updated. So for every zodiac sign, can I announce the series that I have?
Wait, so we getting exclusive on the Big Exclusive show? Hell yeah.
All right. So on my YouTube channel, I do a series called Sexy, What's Going On. That's when you can that particular reading tell you what energies are surrounding you. So whatever you're thinking about, that's what you're gonna find out about. I also have a series called Sexy is Snitching. And that's when I just deliberately tell you what the next person is doing that you're thinking about, right? And then I have another series called Sexy's Cross Watcher's Dream. So here's an example of how this goes. If you're a Scorpio and you want to know what the Aries is doing, you don't watch the Scorpio reading. It just say, Sexy, what's going on with the Aries? And I'm going to tell you everything that Aries is doing. Now listen, it ain't for the faint at heart. If your feelings get hurt and you can't take it, my channel ain't for you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I can see threesomes and shit. I could see swinging shit. Listen, I could even see if somebody in to take a milk bath. So you might want to be careful. If you come to my channel, you better want to hear the truth. Because I can even see, listen, if you're straight and you're wondering about your friend, I probably see that too.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm just telling you.
Give them the channel again so they know where to go.
All you have to
Shannon, you
do
want
is
to,
Sexy Tarot. And it's updated constantly, but I am going to start the series Sexy Soul Conversation. And that's going to be a more serious reading for you to get in alignment with your soul's assignment, okay? Because really, to be honest with you, like I said, that's why I got into tarot for you.
Okay, D, what was you saying?
May I address the audience?
Huh?
August, 1 second. D, what was you saying?
I was saying pin the website and the code in your comment.
Gotcha. August, you
If I
have the
may
floor.
address, yeah, I just wanted to address the audience as I started realizing the viewers that are participating in this event. Essentially, if you want to come to me, and you can find me again at August_midnight. And if you are someone that believes in the devil and are afraid of the devil, I can teach you how not to be afraid of the devil. And that's all I pretty much essentially prescribe. So again, check me out at August_midnight, or check me out on my YouTube to get a little bit more of a read on me at August midnight. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Hold on. I'm at the website now. I just want to make sure I'm not tripping. Hurry, going fast. All right, let me do that in a second. I keep my promises. So, again, before we get out of here, I want to thank Goddess of the Eye, Miss L.J. Thornton, who I had to check out a little bit earlier. I want to thank Sexy Tarot. I want to thank Chief PBR, who was more of a guest, a host, a moderator. It was always good to have the Chief in the building. Please always search for info. Don't be ignorant. It's no excuse to remain ignorant, and if something scares you or you're afraid, the best thing to do is face your fears. I want to thank August for coming through and being so vulnerable to speak to something I'm sure most people don't understand, because again, they want to remain ignorant. But I appreciate him having the courage. I appreciate all y'all having the courage to come on and speak about your respective expertise and journeys. I don't even say expertise, and I don't say I appreciate y'all letting us in on the journey and teaching us something along the way. Special thanks to D, who, because I asked, brought back a sale she had going on where if you buy 2, you'll get the third one for free. It's the Fuck Out of Here spray and the smokeless saging. Please go to thezencompanyonline.com and make sure you guys get some. Like I said, I'm headed over there after the show. I'm gonna pick up 10 of them to give away free. This has been a very, very informative show for me. It's been a very, very enlightening show for me. I got my tarot reading. Each channeled some things and saw some things. And if I'm being honest, again, this stuff is not scripted, or else I would have been on time. I would have started on time. But with that being said, I'm a better person today than I was yesterday on this journey that we call life. I appreciate you guys tuning into the Big Exclusive Show podcast. You can find me on YouTube at The Real Big Exclusive, on all social media at Big Exclusive. And if you want to go directly to my site, it's great. And let me say this before I get out of here. It's great to listen to podcasts on Apple, on Android, on Alexa and all that. But if you really want the artist to be able to create this content and deliver it to the people without restriction, go to my website. There's no restrictions on my website. The Apple won't ask me to mute something or do anything different. You get the information the way it was recorded, honestly and with integrity. Go to thebepodcast.com. This has been a dope show. I thank all my guests. Look for their websites and information on all of my social media. It'll be there, for at least the next week. I'll post it hopefully daily. Those are my intentions. Okay, it doesn't happen that way, but just understand my heart is pure and those are my intentions. If you're listening to this or if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure, just like, subscribe, leave a comment if you're inclined. If you're listening to the audio, make sure you like and follow. All of that stuff matters. To my sponsors, I can't thank y'all enough for taking, a chance on me and believing in me. Shredfit, Classic Apparel, SCB Naturals, Epic Graphics and Crafts, and I shouldn't have forgot this one, but I feel bad. But Critical Shot Studio, it's the reason I look so good, and hopefully I sound as good. We could have started on time. He would have got an A tonight, but because we didn't, I'm giving him a C+. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you. See you next time. This is the Big Exclusive Podcast signing out.
Next time, bye guys.
Okay, bye. Hey, let's go to McDonald's. Oh, yeah. Come on, man. That's a good McDonald's.